Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Stay tuned to see.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, BucosLocker, coming to you again. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for supporting this channel. I really appreciate that. If you want to donate, please feel free to donate. All donations are welcome, big or small. Without further ado, let's get to this locker room. We're going to have a talk. Come on in. Come on in. How's everybody doing? As y'all can see, the topic of this discussion is the Bucs are stacked, loaded, right? I mean, that's what we said, right? Well, that's what y'all said. The Bucs are stacked. The Bucs are stacked. Why such the panic? Every day I got to read every day. The Bucs need to get a quarterback. The Bucs need to get this. The Bucs need to get that. I thought we were stacked. I mean, did y'all forget that we won a Super Bowl with Brad Johnson at quarterback? Don't forget that, right? Let's not forget that. We had a NFL all-time great defense, and the Bucs won the Super Bowl 2002. Remember that? Tony Dungy team. Tony Dungy Super Bowl, right? So we fast forward, 20 years later, or 19 years later, basically 20 years later, we'll call it, 19 years later. And we get, 18 years later, we get Tom Brady, one of the GOATs, and, he brings his friends with him, and Fournette and AB and Gronkowski. And we win the Super Bowl. Great. So he quote unquote retires, and now the Bucs fan base is in disarray. Like, they all over the place. It's like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's every day it's a conversation about the quarterback, but never a discussion about the team. Remember, we're stacked, right? Right? I mean, we were stacked before Brady and AB and Gronkowski, and Fournette, right? I mean, we just was missing the quarterback. So I'm just trying to understand, why such concern. If the Bucs are so stacked, we can win regardless, right? We were stacked before Brady Bunch got here, so we're stacked after they leave, right? But I don't get the feel that everybody believes that. I'm not a feelings guy, but I just, from what I see, or from what I'm reading, Twitter and Facebook groups, I don't believe that everybody think we're stacked like we thought we were. Because I see a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt amongst the Bucs fan base about our team. We, oh my gosh, it's like, wait a minute. We're stacked, right? We're loaded, according to 90% of the Bucs fans and a lot of the media, right? But I don't hear the media talking about the Bucs anymore. I'm just trying to understand, if we're so stacked, why such concern? Because if we're stacked or loaded, as long as we get a decent quarterback, we can still win. I mean, we don't need a Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. I mean, granted, if we get those guys, that's great. But I'm saying we don't actually need them to win, right? I mean, we're stacked everywhere else, right? I'm just saying. I mean, we was running around beating our chest for the last 2 years talking about we're stacked and we're just missing the quarterback. It was the same team. And I'm not getting that same response from a lot of you Bucs fans. A lot of y'all acting desperate out there. I'm just saying, the defense stacked, the offense stacked, but people don't got no faith in Cyrus Grayson now. Tyler Johnson, Scotty's too high, Cameron Brake. Where's the support for the guys that was here before the Brady bunch? Because this is the Bucs after the Brady bunch. Fournette is going to test free agency. He has every right. You know, we know AB not coming back. I don't think Gronkowski coming back, and I don't believe Brady's coming back. So without Brady and the bunch, Brady and his super friends, the Bucs should be fine. Am I right? I mean, I'm just going by what I was reading and all the hoopla and the amp for the last 2 years. We're stacked. So what's the concern? All we need is a decent quarterback. If we can't get a top-level quarterback, all we need is a decent quarterback. I mean, can we win with Blaine Gabbert? Or Blaine Gabbert? That's what I call him. As long as he don't turn the ball over, right? We're stacked. We can win with Kyle Trask if he's good enough, right? 10, 11, 12 wins, right? We're stacked. We're loaded, according to 90% of the Bucs fans. So, or was it we were loaded with 4 guys? That's what made us loaded. Because we about to find out if the Bucs were really like that without Brady and his super friends. Now we about to find out what the real business is. So for all of you that said we were stacked, stand by that now. I don't want you to run from that. Don't run from it. Don't start making excuses about, oh, we got to have Aaron Rodgers and we got to have Russell Wilson. Even if we don't get them, we still should win, what, 11, 12 games, right? Because we're stacked and loaded everywhere else. Don't be so concerned about who at quarterback. Granted, don't take it for granted. Yeah, we need a decent quarterback, but even with a decent quarterback, we still should win 11, 12 games, right? We're stacked and we're loaded. That's the moral of the story here, of this conversation I'm having with you guys. I just want you guys to admit. Because if we don't win 11 games or 13 games, then what does that say? We weren't stacked as we thought we were. And I told y'all this, we're going to find out the truth. We're going to find out the truth that if we were stacked and loaded, according to the media and Bucs fans, we're going to find out if it was really just, if it was a whole team thing or if it was just 4 particular guys that made the Bucs look really good. I am praying that it's not the case. Because I'm going to be the first to come back over and say, wow, if we don't win 11 games, we weren't stacked as we thought we were. Because remember, we were a quarterback away. Am I right? I mean, we're 7-9, 5-11, 5-11, 9-7, 6-10, 2-14. Should I go back? Should I keep going back? We were just a quarterback away because we were stacked. But when you peel back the banana, when you peel back the orange, not only we were a quarterback away, but we picked up Fournette, who ended up being a starter. AB, starter. Gronkowski, starter. Got rid of Matt Gay for Ryan Succop. Field goal kicking. I thought we were just a quarterback away. I'm just trying to understand. I'm gonna weed you out. Don't run. For those of you that was running around saying we were stacked, I'm telling you, don't run. I just want you to understand. Remember, I always tell y'all this. As much as we talked a lot of stuff for the last 2 years. Well, I stayed humble, and some of us stayed humble. But a lot of us talk a lot of noise to fan bases for the last 2 years about we untouchable, nose in the air. We were stuck up. Now reality is set in, and now I'm starting to sense panic. Why are we panicking about getting a elite level quarterback. Why are we such in panic mode? With a decent quarterback, just a decent quarterback, according to what the media was saying when Brady and his super friends was here, we're stacked. Stack that receiver, stack that O-line, stack that running back, stack that tight end, stacked in the secondary, stack that linebacker, stacked on D-line. There's in my opinion, this is my opinion, there's not many stacked teams in the NFL. Now, so you got to understand, you got 32 NFL teams. How many stacked or loaded teams do you see? What does your eyes tell you? Hashtag, what does your eyes tell you? 32 teams in the NFL. How many stacked teams does your eyes tell you? What does your eyes tell you? When I mean stacked, I mean stacked. I ain't talking about just trying to nitpick. I'm talking about just stacked from top to bottom. Loaded, right? That word that just gets thrown out there because it kind of came from us. How many teams are stacked? Be honest. I'm just trying to get y'all to see this bigger picture I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to paint y'all a picture here. How many teams are stacked in the NFL? Can somebody give me a list? I'm talking about front office, head coach, offense, defense, special teams. How many teams are stacked? Because we are stacked, right? Well, we were stacked. Well, I mean, we still stacked, right? I mean, just saying. How many teams are stacked in the NFL? Because see, when you throw the word stacked out there, when you say loaded, that means you don't have any clear weaknesses. Now, y'all know me. Bucs secondary, weak. Well, average at best. I'm gonna say weak, but average at best. Special teams, not good. But I just want to understand. I want y'all to understand what does stacked mean and what does loaded mean, because I think we were throwing that word around because the media was doing it. But are we really stacked? I got a question. Are we really stacked? Can I get a yes or no? Are we really stacked? Because I just want to know. Because that's what we was led to believe, right? I mean, I didn't totally believe it, but that's what we were led to believe. Were we stacked with Brady, Fournette, Gronkowski, AB adding on to the team, or we were stacked before them? Were we stacked before Ryan Suckup? Were we stacked before Tristian Wrifs? Were we stacked before Antonie Winfield Jr.? Because those guys got added. But we were stacked before them. So I'm just trying to understand, are we stacked? Can anybody answer that question? Can anybody answer that question? Because remember now, I thought we were a quarterback away. Right? And what's so crazy is, it's so funny how things play out. Did y'all know everybody that scored in the Super Bowl was not on the team before? The year before? Or the previous years? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know everybody that scored in the Super Bowl was not a part of the Bucs team at all before? I just want y'all to understand, moving forward, using the word stacked, loaded, you got to give more details than that. Because I'm not going to say that. Because we got some holes on that team that was covered up. I mean, when you have Tom Brady as a quarterback and you have Antonie Brown and Gronkowski and Fournette, they covered up a lot of things. The defense still gave up over 20 points a game. I believe it was what? How many points a game they gave up? 24? The defense still gave up a lot of first downs from third down. Quarterback completion percentage was still above 65%. Without the blitz, the Bucs pass rush was bottom in the NFL. So if we were stacked and loaded, then those things wouldn't be problems. The point I'm trying to make, folks, we still have issues on this team. Even with Tom Brady, we still have issues. Now Tom Brady's gone, and Gronkowski is most likely gone, and AB obviously gone, and Ryan Suckup might cost a little bit too much money. Fournette want to test the free agency. So I just want y'all to understand, be prepared to see a different Bucs team. And then you got the free agency coming up. I just want everybody to calm down and not panic too much because, like I said, we're not a bad team. We're not a horrible team without Tom Brady. We're not. We're not an elite team. You know what I'm saying? We're not an elite team, right? Because having Tom Brady and Gronkowski and Fournette and AB made the Bucs elite. Those four guys really upgraded the Bucs big time. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Let's not beat around the bush here. Those guys are great. Like, let's just keep it 100. Let's give credit where it's due. Let's not act like those four guys, they just came to the Bucs and there was no big deal. It was a huge deal. Ryan Suckup was a huge deal. Those five guys, I'm not even going to count Tristian Wirfs and Antoine Winfield Jr. I'm just going to talk about the guys that came into the team. And every guy that came to the team through free agency scored in the Super Bowl. Each guy was an upgrade at the position. Tom Brady was an upgrade from Winston, right? Fournette was an upgrade from Ronald Jones, right? AB was an upgrade from Rashad Perriman, right? That's a third receiver. And he could be a number one right now if he want to. Even a number two. Gronkowski was an upgrade from Cameron Brate and number 80. Ryan Suckup was a major upgrade from Matt Gay. I'm talking about pre-Matt Gay before he got to the Rams. Those guys were huge. Like, when you look back at it, you don't realize how big of an impact those five guys was for the Bucs organization as a whole. People try to downplay it and try, but we got to give credit where it's due. We got to give credit where it's due. We got to give major credit to Brady Bunch, the Brady and Super Friends. We got to give major credit because without those five guys coming, without Ryan Suckup making those kicks, we don't go anywhere. Without Fournette becoming playoff Lenny, do we win the Super Bowl? Do we win 13 games the following season? Without AB's impact on the field, and his impact was huge, do we win those games? Gronkowski, his impact was major. Do we win the Super Bowl without Gronkowski? Number 80 and Cameron Brate at tight end? You could throw any other quarterback in that situation that was available on the market on 2020. Do we win the Super Bowl? Whatever quarterback that was on the market in 2020, do we win the Super Bowl with that quarterback? Because if you say yes, that means we were stacked before those guys got here. Do those guys come if Brady don't come? I'm just trying to get y'all to understand the bigger picture here. My point is, folks, it's not easy winning the Super Bowl no matter how many players you got on your team. Every year is different, and we found that out this year. Injuries, off the field issues, turmoil in the locker room. No year is the same. Look at the Rams. They made it to the Super Bowl twice in 6 years, and they finally got one. Look at their roster. They're trying to win now. They had the roster that you see right there. They added OBJ, Von Miller, and Matthew Stafford. They went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff at quarterback, Todd Gurley. Pretty much the same team, right? And then they got rid of Jared Goff, added Matthew Stafford, added OBJ during the season, added Von Miller during the season, and that's what got them to the Super Bowl. Now remember, they got to the Super Bowl without those guys. But Ramsey been there for what, 3-4 years now? They got to the Super Bowl without Matthew Stafford, without OBJ, without Von Miller. So that was already a good team. And one of the things that we're going to find out about the Bucs is how good is the Bucs without Gronkowski, Brady, possibly Fournette, AB, and possibly Ryan Succop? We're going to find out, folks. I don't want y'all to get scared. Don't get nervous. You know, I told y'all my prediction as far as the Bucs record, the ceiling and the floor. That's without trades and, you know, and signings and draft picks. Look, I can go from, remember, I said 9-8 as our ceiling. 6-10 is our floor. Now, after the draft and after free agency and trades, I can bump it up to a 12, depending on what we do at quarterback. But am I centering everything off of one player? No. I'm not centering everything off of one player. I'm centering everything off of from a team perspective. Y'all know me, I'm a very team guy. You know, the media make it about the quarterbacks when it comes to wins and losses. I don't. Quarterback wins and losses is not an individual stat. The media convinced y'all that. But without the crew, Brady, Gronkowski, Fournette, Brown, Succop, about 9-8 at best. And I'm being nice. I'm being optimistic at the same time, but I got to be understanding and humble as well. But the good thing about the Bucs, though, it's not all bad for the Bucs because we was able to keep Ty Bowles and Byron Leftwich for another year. Probably for another 2 years. You know, Bruce Arians is old. So maybe after this season, one of those guys take over as head coach. We do need to get younger in some positions. D-line. Gotta get younger. That is the major. The more and more I look at it, man, defense wins championships. Did you see the Rams D-line in the second half? They sacked Joe Burrow, what, 7, 8, 9 times? The Bucs got to get after the quarterback without blitzing sometimes. The Bucs blitz more than anybody in the NFL, and it hurt the secondary. The secondary is not that bad. They average, but they're not bad as a unit. Now, Antonie Winfield is elite, right? But the rest of the guys are average at best. Can those guys be better with a better pass rush? Of course. This is why I want the Bucs to build the trenches, specifically the D-line. The better that D-line is, the better that secondary going to look. That secondary can go from average at best, in my Kevin Samuels voice, to above average at best. So before everybody starts saying we're stacked and we're still loaded, that's not the case. And y'all know that. We're not stacked and loaded anymore. We're gonna lose at least 10 guys. Well, we got over 20 guys that, you know, that's up for free agency. We're gonna lose at least half of those guys. Hopefully Jason Light draft well. But I would not be mad if Jason Light get 2 defensive linemen in the first 3 rounds. First and third, first and second and third. I wouldn't even be mad at that. But we gotta get better on that D-line. Because we got by with old man JPP. We got by with Ndamukong Suh, who had a good season. Ndamukong Suh had a good season, but it was in spurts. It wasn't consistent. The age showed in Ndamukong Suh in multiple occasions. Yeah, he had 7.5 sacks, but go look at the games. It's 17 games, folks. And I think he had like two sacks in like a couple games. He had multiple sacks in a couple games. So those seven and a half sacks, I believe he had in a 17 game season. I think one game he had one or two games with 2 sacks. And then the rest of it was kind of spread out. And those games that he had sacks in, how many of those came against really good O-lines? Steve McClendon, Nacho Nunes, William Golson. No. That ain't it. That ain't it moving forward. They did what they can do the last 2 years, but moving forward, the Bucs got to get fresh and young on that D-line. The 3 technique, the 5 technique. They need a guy, because you got Tryon and Anthony Nelson. I think Anthony Nelson will be a really good 5 technique. Anthony Nelson, he's not good standing up to me. But I think Anthony Nelson will be pretty good as a 5 technique, taking William Golson's spot. Add some weight on him. You got Vita there as a nose tackle, 3-4 nose tackle. But he's not a great pass rusher. No matter, regardless of what y'all try to say about Vita, he's not a great pass rusher. He can't stay on the field to be a great pass rusher. He makes the run defense really good because you can't move him. But he can't play like an Aaron Donald. He can't play like a Chris Jones or John Allen or Deron Payne or young Fletcher Cox, Hakeem Hicks, a young Calais Campbell. Because Vita's still young, but he don't have the pass rushing ability of a Grady Jarrett, a Jarrell Casey, a Jeffrey Simmons. Not even close. A DJ Reader. Guys in the middle that can get to the quarterback. Leonard Williams. We need guys that can get to the quarterback, not just stop the run. A Stephon Tuitt. A Hayward. From the Pittsburgh Steelers. We need some Max Crosbys. Ngakwe's. Not even close to Geno Atkins. And this is not a knock on Vita Vea. This is just telling y'all guys in the trenches pass rushing. That's not Vita Vea's strong point. It's not Vita's strong point. He pushes the pocket, but he ain't getting sacks. We need somebody to get sacks next to him because he's going to occupy 2 guys. We need pass rushers, folks. So goes back to what I was telling y'all. Are we really loaded? Or was it ever just a facade that just make us believe that we were stacked because of 5 guys? Because if you take those 5 guys out, are we stacked? I'm just saying, folks. I want y'all to think about this after this video. As I wrap this up, we got some holes, folks. Cornerback specifically, slot guy specifically, D-line specifically. I would love to see the Bucs be 8, at least 6 deep. They can just rotate. They can rotate 4 guys every 2 series. I prefer the Bucs to be 8 deep, like the Rams, like the Ravens, a healthy Ravens team, a healthy Steelers team. They like 8 deep. All right. If we can find a way to get a Jeffrey Simmons, a Javon Hargraves, guy in the middle that can get to the quarterback, push the pocket to get sacks, not stop the run. I'm not even worried about them. I'm not even going to. Okay, so what? The number 1 against the run. Okay, cool. Well, we got a lot of sacks. We do. But my eyes tell me if we don't blitz, we don't get sacks. That's the bottom line, folks. You can spin it how you want to spin it. You watched the game as just as well as I did. We have to blitz to get sacks. That is not good. That puts that secondary in bad situations. And Todd Bowles need to tighten up. He's back. He got to tighten up. All this blitzing. Come on, man. You got to help those guys out in the back. You got to help Devin. You got to help Devin White out. You can't cover like that. You got to get to the quarterback. That's how secondaries look good. Look at the 49 secondary. 49 secondary ain't cold, but guess what? They top 10 in statistics. Because look at their pass rush. Elite. That's where I want the Bucs to be. I want the Bucs pass rush to be elite. When I mean pass rush, I'm not talking about blitzing. I'm talking about rushing the quarterback. 4 guys. 2 outside line, or a 3-4, right? Outside linebackers. You know, Joe Tryon and whoever else. Or Shaq Barrett. And the 3 guys. The 5 technique, the 3 technique, and the nose tackle. Don't get caught up in this one guy makes the team thing. Y'all know me. I'm never a believer of one guy makes the team. There's 3 phases to a game. Really 4, but 3. And they all contribute. They all have an effect on the game. Not just one guy. Because guess what? If the Bucs do what they're supposed to do in the free agency, at the quarterback, the running back, the 3rd receiver position, and the D-line, the Bucs can still win 11, 12 games. If they fill the host properly with younger, fresher talent. Because all this, the Bucs are still young. That's out the door now. Because the Bucs core, you could consider them veterans now. They got 3 years now. 3 years on their belt. They vetted now. And you can no longer give them the excuse of them they too young. They've been with Todd Bowles 3 years now. 2020, 2021, and now they're in 2022. Come on now. I'm sorry, 2019. I'm sorry. 3 years. So there's no more excuses for the secondary. Antoine Winfield came in balling. Tristian Wirfs came in balling. So what's the problem with Murphy Bunn and Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis, Mr. Grabby? All these teams around the NFL got these young pass rushers, and we struggling with these old guys. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just giving y'all the reality of it. The reality is we got to get young on that D line. We got to get some guys that can get after it with some motor. We need some guys with some motor. Because I'm telling you, y'all going to be surprised if the Bucs just address the D-line. Watch how much of a difference does that make for Shaq Barrett and Joe Tryon. Watch how big of a difference does that make for the secondary. If the Bucs do the D-line correctly and reload and get some guys that can get to the quarterback, watch how better the Bucs defense really looks. Because I said, well, the Bucs defense is already good. In what area? Stopping the run? Because the Bucs can stop the pass. Says who? PFF? Or you gonna give me the PFF treatment? Well, PFF says the Bucs secondary is really good. Not buying it. What did Giants tell you? I don't care about what some geeks tell me. I'm talking about what my eyes tell me. Real football. They're not good, folks. They're not even above average. They're average at best. Jamel Dean lost confidence. Murphy Bunn, I don't know what he's doing. Carlton Davis, he's okay. Mr. Grabby. Jordan Whitehead can't cover. He's a missile. Mike Edwards can cover, but he's not fast. Don't be surprised the Bucs get a cornerback from Cincinnati. Ahmad Gardner. Sauce Gardner. That cornerback from Cincinnati, don't sleep on him. Actually, both of them. Kobe Bryant and Sauce Gardner. Don't be surprised the Bucs snack one of them up. Because remember, you got to look for next season too. Because next season, Murphy Bunn and Jamel Dean and Mike Edwards is up for contract. Remember, they second and third round picks. That's 4-year deals. So the Bucs really got to think about the future in the secondary. See, I ain't thinking about this stuff. Remember, we're loaded, right? This year and next year is very pivotal years for the Bucs roster. This is post Brady Bunch. Remember, these next 2 years is post Brady Bunch. Like, you're going to really find out. We about to find out. Did Jason Licht learn from his mistakes in the 2015, 14, 15, 16, 17 draft classes? And in 2018, 19 was, 20 was, okay, yeah. 21, hit his first 4 draft classes versus his last 4 draft classes. So we about to find out, did he learn from his mistakes in this draft? Because if we're loaded, then all we got to do is reload. If we're stacked, all we got to do is restack, right? Because if we're not stacked, if we're not loaded, then what the Bucs are doing, they're just rebuilding. Is this a mini rebuild? Because if you're stacked, we got a super chat. William Rogers, $5 super chat. He says the GM is the problem. What makes you think the GM is a problem? The GM is a problem. So what? Give me the reason why the GM is the problem. Give me some reasons. I'm not a big fan of Jason Licht, but he ain't the only problem. You feel me? If he's the problem, then what can he do to help the team out moving forward post Brady Bunch? Because obviously a lot of you guys don't have faith in Kyle Trask. He picked Kyle Trask. OJ Howard, number 80 about to get up out of here. Ronald Jones about to get out of here. He drafted those guys. Carlton Davis, what are we going to do with him? Jordan Whitehead, what are we going to do with him? He drafted those guys. There's a high possibility that Rojo and number 80 are not on the team. Jason Licht drafted those guys. One was in the first round, the other one's in the second round. Premium picks. Remember, folks, in order to be a good organization, you can't whiff on draft classes. You just can't do that. You just can't just whiff on a draft class. That hurts your team. That sets your team back a minimum of 2 years. Missing on the draft class sets your team back 2 years. Can't do that. Like I said, Jason Light's not a bad GM, but he's had some. And what the heck? 2016 draft class really hurt the Bucs. Out of that draft class, we should have had at least 3 starters. Like 2 really good ones and like a solid one. Got nothing out of that draft class. 2017. Y'all see what's about to happen in 2017 draft class, right? Number 80, Rojo. Out of here. First round, second round pick. Out of here. So now, 2014, 15, 16, and 17 draft classes is, okay, you got Marpet, Donovan Smith. Mike Evans came in 2014. So you hitting one here and one here and one here, but you need to hit on 3 at least. It's so funny too, because I'm glad somebody brought this up. We about to find out, is Tampa a free agent destination without Brady Bunch? Brady and his super friends? Will the Bucs be a free agent destination now that there's question marks at the quarterback situation? Because Tom Brady was here, it was easy to get guys coming. Because remember, before Tom Brady got here, nobody wasn't trying to come to the Bucs unless we overpaid them. Let's keep it real. Who was trying to come? Who was trying to play for Dort Cutter and Bruce Arians before Brady? And Lovie Smith and Greg Schiano. Nobody was coming, Raheem Morris. Nobody was coming to play for those guys. So we also about to find out, are we on the top of the list of free agents? We about to find out, are we on the top of the list? Because the reports about Deshaun Watson likes the Bucs and the Vikings. He like what we got going on. But also we are in competition of getting Deshaun Watson with the Minnesota Vikings. Okay. The Vikings can get rid of Kirk Cousins and eat Deshaun Watson's contract easily. But see, with for the Bucs to get Deshaun Watson, we got to make some maneuvers with the contracts on the team. If we get Deshaun Watson, everybody can't come back. Or we just kick the can down the road and be like the Saints. So remember, if we get Deshaun Watson, the team will look different. Can't keep everybody. Y'all know that, right? Just want to make sure y'all understand, we can't keep the stacked and the loaded team together. When you bring a guy in with that big of a cap hit, I think it's like $35 million. Oh, it's not. I don't think his cap hit is $35 million, but you're saying his salary coming to the team is huge. And y'all want to sign Chris Godwin or Chris the God and Carlton Davis and Ryan Jensen? With Deshaun Watson coming in, you can't do that. The numbers don't even add up. The numbers don't even add up. Remember, Jason Light gave Donovan Smith a contract extension, a big one. Y'all forgot that. So we about to find out how stacked the Bucs really is without Tom Brady and his super friends. And now we got to compete against the Vikings to get Deshaun Watson. Similar teams in a way, as far as offensively, right? Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Irv Smith, the other tight end they got over there, Dalvin Cook, Deshaun Watson. How does that look? He might be enticed to go that route because of the offensive skill set. And the Vikings can afford him by cutting Kirk Cousins and saving $35 million on the cap. 34, something like that. Or he can come to the Bucs with Mike Evans and possibly Chris Godwin. And the running back situation, no. Tight ends, third receiver. O-line's still solid though, right? So you have to look at it from that perspective too. We got competition, folks. It ain't gonna be easy getting one of these quarterbacks to add to this loaded stacked team. So hopefully y'all humble yourself. I really do. Because the Bucs got some moves to make. And they can do it if they play the cards right. I'm telling you, the Bucs can go right back to being really good. These last 2 years, be like, 11 win, 12 win, 13. Or the Bucs can go from sugar to sugar honey iced tea real quick. Y'all seen the teams before Tom Brady got here. Y'all seen the coaches. Y'all seen the team before Tom Brady and his super friends got here. And for those of you that don't know what I mean by Tom Brady and super friends, I mean that's Brady, Gronkowski, AB, Fournette, Ryan Suckup. That's just Brady and the super friends, the Avengers. The Avengers assembled. Before the Avengers came to the Bucs were 7-9, 5-11, 5-11, 9-7, 6-10, 2-14. That's the last 6 years before they got here. You know what I'm saying? That's the records. Brady and the super team gets here. The Brady and the bunch get here. It's 11-5, Super Bowl, 13-4, second round exit. Remember, we were stacked before those guys got here. I want y'all to remember that. So when this season come up, I don't want to hear too much excuses because you should already know what to expect. Like, I mean, you expecting Super Bowl this year? Let's be real. Are you expecting Super Bowl this year? Like, let's be real. You better hope for 11, 12 win season. That's what you better hope for. That's what your expectation should be at. I don't want to hear none of this Super Bowl. No. I don't want to hear it. Because you're not going to hear from me. You're not going to hear me running around here screaming Super Bowl bust. I'm not doing it. I did it already, and it worked. Because I was on the hook for that. Super Bowl bust, 2020, and we got it. 2021, I was like, if we get it, if we don't, cool. 2022, I ain't saying nothing about no Super Bowl. You won't hear me say a peep about Super Bowl. Nope, not doing it. Because I know the Bucs are in transition right now. And when you were a team in transition, there's a lot of question marks with the Bucs. And I think that's what's going to kind of scare some people away, because even if the Bucs are stacked and loaded, there's question marks with the Bucs. Free agency. You know what I'm saying? Where are we going? So, all right, folks. I just wanted to kind of touch bases on it. I just wanted to touch a little something with y'all about this. Are we stacked? Are we really loaded? And the thing about it is, the great thing about it is the NFC South is very winnable. Even, I think you can win the NFC South with 10 wins. Next year, or this season coming up, you can win the NFC South with 10 wins. Now, we're not going to be the NFC least. But I'm saying the NFC South can be had with 10 wins. Maybe 9. And that's reachable for the Bucs. 9-8, 10-7 can get you the NFC South champion. Division champs. Now, it doesn't get you a Super Bowl, but it gets you into the ticket to the dance. And that's why I got the Bucs at 9-8, because I think they can squeeze, maybe squeeze in that 6-7 seed, right? Let's give y'all reality. Probability versus possibility. What world are you living in? Probability? Well, possible. Remember, folks, we should be okay because we're stacked. We're loaded. We about to find out, folks. With that being said, thank y'all for joining BucosLocker. Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. Share all the videos. And without further ado, shouts out to the Pirates and the Sea Bandits. Keep supporting the channel. It's going to be okay, folks. We got to reload and restack. All right? We'll be all right. Don't worry, folks. The fun is about to begin next month. In the draft and free agency. We about to find out what's going on with this quarterback situation, too. We're going to talk about that more next week. I have my daughter, by the way. I'll make sure she come on here and say, hey. I want y'all to fire those cannons. Seize the day. Raise a flag. Hashtag no risky, no biscuit. Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag bombs away. Hashtag stay humble. And hashtag what does your eyes tell you? We're stacked, right? We're loaded. I'll see y'all next week. BucosLocker out.